Good evening. So I'm out in the garden this evening. It has just been a crazy rainstorm the last hour, and now it's all clear skies, clear, beautiful blue skies. And I'm out here in the garden weeding because it is the easiest to weed right after you've watered or rainstorm. I don't mean like mud, but the ground around here is so dry that it just soaked it up and it's just soft and easy to pull the weeds out. So I've been going through and kind of working on. First of all, let me say that something had to give with throwing a party here for my brother's bachelor party and then helping with his wedding and then just other things that go on in my life. The last 2 weeks have been really busy and something had to give, and what gave was weeding the garden. And it takes about 2 weeks for everything to get completely out of hand. That's all it takes. So the weeds... You gotta wade through the weeds to find the garden. I just found the tomato plants. Those back there are tomato plants. Kind of. There's a lot of weeds back there. But I've been trying to find the raspberry bushes here. And I think I found them. I mulched them. This is kind of where I'm hanging out with my stuff here, though. So this, you couldn't even tell what this was. Now it's raspberries. I've been finding the strawberry plants. I've got mulch down in between there. There's a tomato here that was volunteer, which is just great. If it wants to grow there, go for it. I found the strawberry plants, mulched in between those. The peas are on their way out. I'm snacking on them. They are so good. There's a few weeds in the back there, but the peas are going to get pulled out here in probably another week or two. So I'm just going to leave that mess. But the mess that we're going to deal with next is this. Now, these are the containers that I planted garlic in last fall. They stayed in there all winter. And the general rule of thumb is that you're supposed to pull your garlic on the 4th of July. I should have pulled mine before that because you're not supposed to let them get this far dead. This is too far gone. They're supposed to start to turn brown on the tips, but when the tips are completely brown and rotten, it's over. So I need to clean all this out. We will pull the onions and the garlic and the weeds, and we'll see what we have left. So here is what we got out of those two. We got some little onions, little being the variable word. And we got one good garlic, and I pulled 3 of these size out 2 weeks ago and took them to my brother's wedding to give to my sister, which I'm not sure they ever made it to her house, but they're at my mom's. That's a fairly good size garlic. So I'm not at all surprised with what we pulled out of those 2 containers. I knew there was something going wrong there. I knew a long time ago. I just wanted to let them run their full course, even a little past their course, and see what we ended up with. I don't think there was enough nutrients in the soil, for one, and then the soil got really hard packed. And I just didn't know how to loosen it up without loosening the bulbs. And I think that's something you have to address before you plant it. And I used a lot of sand and a lot of bought loose soil, like garden soil, last fall when I did these 2 planters. And I think just having the snow on them all winter, I don't know, something went wrong. I am actually very pleased with a few of the garlics that I pulled out. They were way better, bigger, more exuberant garlic than I had anticipated pulling out of there. 3 I took to Mom's house when I went down for Walter's wedding. And then the one I just pulled out now, I guess there's 2 I pulled out now that are fairly decently sized that I am pretty happy with. Like this one, it's not huge, but from the looks of the leaves and everything, I wasn't expecting anything huge. And it did get bigger. I mean, I planted one little tiny piece of garlic and got an entire clove. So I think that's kind of a success, especially for my first year growing garlic. I would like to try again for sure. And I'm pretty sure I probably will if I can find some. E. Burgess sent me a postcard that said, I'll post it up on the screen, but I think I'm done ordering from them. And then my mother-in-law had a very similar experience with Guernseys, which are our 2 main seed catalogs. So I'm not sure where I'm going to order my stuff from now, because neither one of those was very impressive this year. And I don't know if it's just because of everything that's going on in the world and shipping and employment and all of that, or if they're just not the greatest companies to order from. I'd probably give them another chance, but not sure I want to give them a chance on my garlic. But anyway, I am very pleased with what I've got rounded up here. I am going to set them out to dry for 2 days. You do that in not direct sun, but lots of air. You don't want to like put them somewhere where they're going to get moldy or wet. You just want them to have nice air circulation and good hot temperatures, but not direct sun, so that they can get their harder shell all dried off. Then I think I'll mail a little vegetable box to my sister, just because she really likes garlic and knows how to cook with it and cooks with it frequently. And even some little tiny garlic bulbs would probably be good to cook with. I don't know. I'll send them to her. She will know. And hopefully she enjoys them. But I just wanted to get these 2 things cleaned out since I'm kind of doing a little cleanup on the garden here. And maybe I'll get something different planted in there this season. I have some potting soil left over from my window box project, so I might mix that in there and see if I can loosen it up some. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever be planting garlic in the small containers again because it just didn't love it. And I definitely need to add some slow release fertilizer to these 2 buckets. You can just tell the soil is done. It's just not they're not great planters. They don't hold water well and they need some more nutrients. So I think that's all this video has. I just wanted to clean those out, show you what I got out of them, post this video because gardening is half failure, especially if you're just starting out. And this is my 4th year in gardening in a serious way. Serious-ish. A lot of people take it a lot more serious than I do, but for me this is pretty serious. And I just wanted to put it out there that you don't always succeed at gardening. Sometimes you gotta fail your way to learning how to do it. And this was definitely one of those times where the small planters are not what I needed for this project, and I learned that the hard way. But I am actually very pleased with my turnout because I got something. And that's important to remember, is that even if you fail, you learn something. And if you got a product even though you failed, well, then that was a success. So if you like my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, or actually tell me in the comments what you've recently failed at gardening so that we may all learn from each other. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Can you guys hear the coyotes? I just wanted to add a little side note here. All along, I thought these were a type of cabbage, like a big leaf cabbage. Wrong. Very wrong. I am growing Brussels sprouts. Like, what? Who knew? I didn't. Pretty dang cool. Very cool.